Have you settled down? The scene is being inspected without you. This time the body didn't disappear. However, you lost consciousness. I didn't expect you to faint. Seeing that corpse must have been incredibly shocking. I did not predict you to be the fainting type. I suppose humans are unpredictable. Now that you're back, let's get back to business. You are conscious, are you not? Are you at a loss for words? Date, don't let negative thoughts consume you. Thinking that Iris died because of me. If I never took her to Ota's, this wouldn't have happened. If you truly believe that, then your brain is completely rotten. Or perhaps when you saw the corpse, your head became filled with images of blooming yellow dandelions.
What?
Oh, you're talking now. Was I correct? If you consider the situation logically, even an elementary school student would understand.
Huh?
Fine. Allow me to pluck some of those dandelions from your mind. I will ask 3 questions. Please answer honestly. First question. The cold storage warehouse was not in regular operation. But even so, the AC was on, and a minus 58-degree temperature was maintained. Why is that?
To preserve something.
Yes. Let us move on to the next question. Second question. There was something strange about the corpse. Do you remember what that was?
Iris's body was completely frozen. The temperature read -58. With Iris's weight... Just wondering, but how much do you weigh?
Don't you know it's rude to ask a lady that?
105 pounds.
I see. 105, huh? It should have taken about 18 hours to freeze solid. But we were...
Wait a moment. Before you draw your conclusion, allow me to ask my final question. Question 3. 2 days ago, Sunday night, you found a dead body in the cold storage warehouse. But afterward, you visited the Sagan household and discovered that Iris was in fact still alive. Why?
You mean...
You've got it.
I don't believe it.
The stomach is swollen slightly. She appears to have been pregnant.
How?
Do not worry. The uterus does not contain a fetus.
You mean after she was killed?
No, the fetus was not present in her body when she was killed. She must have been killed after giving birth. The distended stomach does not immediately shrink after birth. The expanded uterus takes some time to return to its normal size. This evidence makes one thing perfectly obvious.
This corpse isn't Iris. It's someone else.
Which means...
Iris is still alive.
Not necessarily. haven't confirmed that yet. Multiple stab wounds with a single-edged, sharp object to the victim's back. Judging by the size and shape of the marks, the weapon was most likely a kitchen knife. This matches what you said on Sunday.
So this is the body I saw then. Is there an estimated time of death?
Impossible to determine. This body has been completely frozen for at least 10 years.
10 years? She was killed more than 10 years ago?
Exactly. Her identity is unknown. Her killer is also unknown. But there is one likely suspect.
Who?
Let's consider the clues. The scene. Okiura Fishery Cold Storage Warehouse. Sunday night, we saw So here. And there is something else about So Sajima. We witnessed someone similar to Iris being stabbed repeatedly in So's somnia.
But it wasn't Iris. It was this woman.
That is highly likely.
What we saw was So's memory from more than 10 years ago.
I believe that is the case.
Renju and So?
But we still do not know where Renju is.
That means that we need to talk to...
So Sajima.
I thought I told you never to show your face here again.
I didn't come here for Shoko today. I didn't come here for Iris either. Instead, I'm here for a girl who looks like Iris. Did you kill her?
Date, look.
I knew it. You killed her, didn't you?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I've had enough of your shit, Congressman! You wanted to check on the body of the girl you killed. That's why you were at the cold storage warehouse 2 days ago. Where is Renju Okiura? You know where he is, don't you? You were at an Okiura fishery warehouse for a reason. There's definitely a connection between you two. And that's not all. Number 89 called your secretary. The same number 89 that Renju escaped with. Now tell me, where is Renju?
We'd like to ask you to please leave.
Damn it, So!
There's nothing we can do. We did arrive without a warrant. We were technically trespassing. If he had called the police, we would be in a predicament. We would have been detained immediately. Who would look after Iris then? Do you intend to leave your responsibility with Mizuki and Ota? Calm down, Date. We still have our lead.
Lead?
Before I explain, we need to discuss the corpse in the cold storage warehouse. Let's give her a name. Because she is frozen solid, we could call her All Ice or Alice. What do you think? Alice and Iris. I believe it fits nicely.
All right, Alice. What about her?
Someone might be able to identify her.
Who?
Allow me to ask you 3 questions.
Again with this?
First question. You have seen this corpse more than twice. 3 times, in fact. When was the first time?
Days ago. Saturday night when I synced at Abyss.
Yes, in the Somnium world. We saw the frozen corpse of a girl. Question 2. Who is the girl? Adrian? Adrian! No, of course not.
Now I know. That girl was probably Alice.
Most likely, yes. So we have technically known Alice for 3 days. One last thing. The final question. In which Somnium did we see Alice? Adrian!
Rocky!
Adrian!
Rocky!
But seriously, I am talking about the corpse. Do you think you should be joking at a time like this?
My roommate, Mizuki Okiura.
Exactly. You mentioned something about Mizuki's Somnium being some kind of prophecy. But prophecies are nonsense. Dreams are not made of the future. They are made from the past. Therefore...
Mizuki has seen Alice before.
there is no other explanation.
Aiba, where is Mizuki now?
Where we went with Iris yesterday, the Kume Shrine.
The shrine? Why would she be there?
Unknown. She is supposed to be looking for Iris.
Okay, let's go.
Date,
Did you find Iris?
if I did, I would have told you already.
Right.
Iris used to like this shrine. She told me about all her memories here. We used to come here all the time. You know those steps in the front? We would sit there together and talk about things. Like what gluten-free means, and eyelash extensions, and aerial yoga. And we would talk about all our problems together. Sometimes we would talk late into the night. So I thought that maybe she'd be here. But it looks like I was wrong. I think he's searching Akihabara right now. Last time he checked in, he said he didn't have anything.
I think Iris is with Renju.
With Daddy?
Yeah. Her note mentioned her most trusted person. That's probably Renju.
Yeah. I remember that mermaid girl saying something like that.
He was looking for Iris.
Does that mean that Daddy is the one who called for Iris?
It could be. So I need to know where he is.
But I haven't been able to get a hold of him.
Mizuki, I have something very important to ask you. You've seen her before, haven't you? 3 days ago, I saw her in your somnium. The body of a girl who looks like Iris, Alice. Your dreams are built from your memories. So that corpse... Mizuki, please, answer me. Iris's life is at stake.
Huh? What do you mean?
I need to know everything about Alice. If I find out who she is, I might be able to solve the mystery of Renju and number 89. And that might lead me to Iris.
Okay, I'll tell you about Alice. It was about a month ago. I saw my daddy crying in the president's office at Lemniscate. I was peeking through a crack in the door so he didn't see me. Daddy got up, then got into his car and drove away. I had never seen him like that before. I was curious, so I followed him in a taxi. That led me to the cold storage warehouse. He got out of his car and went inside. I followed right behind him, quietly. Daddy was standing next to the forklift in the back. I hid behind a shelf. I watched Daddy open the hood of the forklift, and then, after a little bit, he left. I wanted to know what he was looking at. I went over to the forklift and I looked under the hood myself. And then...
You saw Alice's dead body.
But at the time, I thought it was Iris. The corpse looked exactly like Iris. I couldn't believe she was dead. I just couldn't. So I went to Iris's house.
Huh? What's wrong, Mizuki?
Iris was alive. I thought I was going crazy. Or dreaming. I tried to convince myself that it was just a hallucination. What do you mean? I couldn't just ask. It would have changed everything. I thought that as long as I stayed quiet, everything would be okay. I didn't see a dead body. I wasn't even at the warehouse. I repeated that to myself over and over and tried to forget the whole thing.
Repressed memories are often the subject of somnia.
That's why Alice showed up during the sync.
What was I supposed to do? Daddy would have been in trouble.
So you kept quiet this whole time?
Yeah. I actually met with one of the higher-ups at Daddy's company last night, before I went to Matsushita Diner.
Why?
Because you asked about the cold storage. I was curious. I asked around some, and... I found out that Daddy was managing the warehouse before I was born. After my grandpa died, Daddy took over. In exchange for managing the warehouse, he gave ownership of the company to someone else. I guess he didn't want to let this place go. Or maybe he couldn't let it go. That's more accurate, I think. But I understand why. Inside that warehouse was...
Alice.
On paper, Daddy has nothing to do with Okiura Fishery. Daddy was still managing the warehouse. And he was the only one allowed in there, too. That was part of the agreement when he gave up the company. And the whole thing had to be a secret. He really stressed that point.
Hey, Mizuki. How long was he managing the warehouse?
For 18 years. That's what the man told me.
18 years? From that long ago?
Yes.
Iba, I need an emergency search. Missing persons from 18 years ago.
Understood.
Huh?
Date, I found her. The girl who looks like Iris.
What's her name?
Monica EY, 19 years old at the time of her disappearance. A graduate of Eitoku High School.
What?
Renju was my classmate at Eitoku High. We've known each other for 20 years now. When I was young, I lost someone very important to me. Monica Iwai, my best friend. One of the only friends I had.
Alice's Monica. Hitomi's friend who went to the same school as her and Renju. But why? Monica's body was found just now. But even back then, Hitomi knew. She knew that Monica was already dead. Iba, where is Hitomi right now?
At headquarters for questioning. MPD still believes that the body they discovered was Iris.
Got it. Contact boss. Have them bring Hitomi to Abyss.
Roger that.
You're awfully calm. You saw the corpse of your daughter today. You were called into the station to confirm her identity. And yet here you are, cool as a cucumber, even though you lost your precious daughter. Shall I guess why? Because that body isn't Iris. And you know it.
Are you serious?
Yes. Her name is Monica Iwai. She was killed when she was 19. She went to the same high school as you, and she was your best friend. Isn't that right? Nothing to say for yourself? Hiding something? Maybe you killed her with Renju.
That's ridiculous.
Oh, now you're talking. But we know Renju committed a crime. Illegally disposing of a body. And we can prove it. The cold storage warehouse where the body was found. It's been managed by Renju Okiura for almost 2 decades now. And witness testimony proves that he knew about the corpse there. And if I'm not mistaken, you knew about the corpse too, Hitomi. You and Renju have been close since high school. It's not too much of a stretch to think that he told you about the body. And I remember you telling me once.
When I was young, I lost someone very important to me. Monica Iwai, my best friend. One of the only friends I had.
How did you know that she was dead?
I didn't.
Don't play dumb. I know you're hiding something. You know what happened 18 years ago. And you knew she was pregnant. You were her best friend. Of course you would have known. Tell me. Tell me everything!
Date, she's not going to talk. Sync with her.
Date, I'm sure I've told you enough times by now, but please, come back within 6 minutes.
I can't promise you that, Pewter.
What do you mean?
I mean, I'm not coming back until I find something.
Date, you can't.
Why not?
You know why.
Because it will take over my consciousness?
Yes.
But if it's only a little...
No, not even a little. If the sync passes the critical point, the damage will be irreparable.
But what does that mean exactly?
No.
I'm not hiding anything.
Then let's try it. Let's experiment with my mind. Then we'll know for sure what'll happen.
Fine. I'll just say it.
Yeah?
Pewter, tell him.
Me?
You know more about it than I do.
Well... Well, first off, 6 minutes is not a hard limit. It could be 7, or even 8.
I don't care about the exact time. I'm asking what happens if you go beyond the limit.
Do you remember the story I told you about the egg?
Yeah, why?
If you imagine an egg as your consciousness, the yolk is what goes into the subject's brain. The white remains inside your shell. If you go beyond the limit, your yolk will not be able to return to its shell.
Because the subject's mind will start to take over the sinker's consciousness, right? I know that part already.
Indeed, but there's more to it. After the yolk is devoured, the egg white is brought through the machine next.
Huh?
And there's more. It's not just the sinker's brain. The same process eventually occurs in the subject's as well. In other words, the entire egg ends up being replaced. Mind, consciousness, memory, they are traded. Switched.
The human brain has what can be understood as a memory limit. One brain can only hold one consciousness, and it can only contain one person's memories.
Now you know everything. Talk to the boss.
I was unaware of this as well. This information is not on any accessible databases.
We had to prevent the possibility that the system could be exploited.
Exploited? But...
Even if it wasn't you, someone else might try. We didn't tell any sinkers this, including you. Project Sync is a top-secret project. It's a matter of national security. Even sinkers are on a need-to-know basis. Think about it. What if you were kidnapped by bad people who tried to make you talk?
bad people?
A criminal organization, spies from another country, those people. If you blabbed about Project Sync, the entire country might be at risk. You heard it from Pewter. The sync machine isn't just for entering a person's somnium. It can also be used to swap bodies between two people. Imagine what this machine would be used for in the wrong hands. That's why I didn't tell you. We can't let this secret get out.
Swapping bodies between two people? Trading minds?
Remember what I told you earlier. Are you listening to me?
Yeah, I got it.
Are you really okay?
I'm fine. Start it.
Understood. Let us begin.
am the god of fire. I burn erotic books with my flames of red-hot anger.
My, how ruthless.
Ow!
Are you okay?
That hurt.
I'll let you read this porno mag if it'll make you feel better.
I will burn it.
The fog is making it pitch black.
The light over there. Is that a firefly? Somnium scan. Activate. It disappeared?
No, wait. It might still be nearby.
A flower bud. I cannot identify the variety. Worship it?
Yeah.
I will pray to it as though I am mourning the dead. It bloomed a little?
I don't know what caused it, but it's better than nothing happening.
What? A rock. This is a simple rock, but
Is there any kind of pattern?
no, there... Understood.
Five minutes left, Date.
A hole in a tree. I am not going to be eaten or anything, right? Whoa! I fell, but I am still in the forest.
It's darker than before.
What? Is someone there? Hey! That voice is...
Find out where that voice is coming from.
A hole in the tree. It looks about as big around as... Understood. I will do my best. This is... a A picture of Hitomi, Renju, and Monika.
Everyone is so young. Hold on to that.
Renju Okiura. Renju, look at this. Wait!
Renju, stop!
Minutes.
What is this hole? Really?
Yeah, go ahead.
Understood. Huh. It's even more difficult to see now. Another voice? Monika! That's Hitomi's voice.
Where is she? Look for her.
Another hole in a tree.
Those are pretty big.
Hitomi! Date likes Hitomi!
Hey, what are you trying to say? Hitomi won't remember this sink. But still.
Hitomi stopped. A hole in a tree. I won't get sucked in, right? A cord bracelet has appeared on my wrist. Perhaps it belongs to someone.
It might be important. Hold on to it.
3 minutes, Date.
That's Hitomi. Do you remember this? Wait!
Follow her!
On it! A rock. A large hole. A large hole. If there is nothing left to do... Date, what is going on?
I don't know, it's pitch black. I can't see anything.
I see. Then it is not me malfunctioning.
Can you feel your way around?
I can try.
You have less than 2 minutes, Date. Hurry.
A licorice flower. Let's do it. What? Another hole. A large hole.
We've come this far. I will not protest now. That is...
Hitomi, I think I know what happened 18 years ago. You three were close. You, Monica, and Renju. Monica was murdered. You and Renju found the body in the mountains, and you brought it back to the cold storage warehouse. And my guess is So Sejima killed Monica. I've seen inside his head before, using this machine.
I see. If you know that much, then there's no point in hiding it anymore. I'll tell you the truth.
Wait, you're going to see So?
Yes. I want to talk to him in person.
No, you can't.
Why not? Are you worried about my body? You don't have to worry about that. I'm totally fine.
But your stomach is still...
Oh, my doctor told me that's normal. Your stomach doesn't go down right away after giving birth.
I'm not worried about your body. I don't know how to explain it. So doesn't care about you. And especially not your child.
I haven't told him about giving birth. He contacted me for the first time in a while.
So that's why.
He wants to know about the baby.
He must be panicking. If anyone ever finds out his mistress had his baby, his political career would be over.
It's not like it was an affair.
His wife passed away after giving birth to his son, right?
It would still be a big scandal. He impregnated a girl who just graduated high school. Don't you see how that looks? He knew how the public would take it. That's why he gave you the money to deal with it. There's no way he'll accept that child.
It's okay. I told him that I won't cause any trouble. But could you take care of the baby? Just for a little bit? I'll be right back.
Fine. But take this with you, just in case. It's a GPS transmitter. Just to be extra safe.
I really don't think I'll need it. But okay, if it'll make you feel better.
I don't know what Monica saw in So. She said he was kind and loyal, that he wanted to change Japan, but I didn't understand any of it. We tried to convince her to break up with him so many times. She never listened, and it ended in tragedy. What happened next, you already know. Neither Renju or I saw it happen, so I don't know how much of this is accurate, but we could guess what happened. Renju told me.
But you said he wasn't there.
He heard some of this from the Kumakuras. Renju had connections with them.
How did the Kumakuras know?
So told them. He told her to move overseas. He said he'd pay for everything. So contacted his friend, the chairman of the Kumakuras. He asked him to dispose of the body and left the scene with the culprit.
The incident was 18 years ago. That means the chairman was Rohan, not Moma.
Rohan went to the scene of the crime?
Yes, with some of his men. Date, you said that Monica was killed by So, right? But that's not true. Monica was killed by Saito Sejima, the son of So and his late wife. Saito was 12 at the time.
12?
Yes.
But why would a little boy do that?
I don't know. I can't imagine. Again, neither Renju or I saw this. We were just waiting at my house for Monica to return. But she never came back. We tried to call her cell, but it didn't connect. But then, we saw movement on the GPS.
The GPS Renju gave to Monica?
Yes. At first, we thought she was on her way home. We saw the GPS getting further and further away from the city. Renju and I got nervous, and we decided to follow it.
What about the baby?
We couldn't take the baby with us, so Renju gave the baby to the mob doctor he trusted.
Those are Kumakura men.
We didn't dare move. We couldn't speak. We were barely breathing. We could only watch as it all unfolded. I knew what the hole was for, but I couldn't move. Couldn't do anything. I remember my heart beating so fast. Before long.
We good here?
Yeah. Cover her.
Just a minute.
Kamakura people covered Monika's body, then left. Renju and I ran over and dug up the grave with a tree branch. What we saw...
We need to call the police.
No, we can't. Not yet.
Why not?
You don't know who those guys are. They would do anything to keep this hidden. I've seen it happen myself. I know what they're capable of. Anyway, think about it. Why would they do this? They thought Monika and her baby were going to be trouble. Monika's stomach was still pretty big. I don't think they know that she gave birth already. What do you think they'd do if they found out? They would take her and kill her too. And then, they'd come for us. They'd make it look like we disappeared. All of us would be... gone.
Renju convinced me. He knew more about the dirty underbelly of society than anyone. He knew when something couldn't be handled by the police. He said that they would do anything to kill the child. And I believed him. We had to protect Monika's baby. We had to, no matter what.
Okay, I understand.
I decided to trust him. We couldn't leave Monika's body in the forest. We cleaned her up and took her to the cold storage warehouse.
This warehouse is owned by Okiura Fishery. My father runs it. But it's not in use right now. They're moving operations to a better area. They're actually looking for buyers right now. But don't worry, I'll take over the warehouse.
Are you sure?
Yes. Don't worry. I'll keep everyone out. Everyone but you, of course. I'll give you a key. You can come visit any time you want to see Monika.
Monika, don't worry about the baby. I'll protect her, no matter what. And don't worry about them, either. The people who did this to you, I will never forgive them. I'm sorry, Monika. Sorry. I'm sorry. Monika.
The mob doctor took care of everything. I have the birth certificate, and I even picked up a mother and baby book. It wasn't cheap, but you don't have to worry about it. Just submit the birth certificate and everything will be taken care of. You look worried.
I feel like I'm somehow betraying Monica. She was the one who gave birth.
Soon, you won't even be able to think about that. Because a war is about to begin.
A war?
Between you and the baby. You won't get a good night's sleep for a long time. You might even start to resent Monica for all this.
Really?
Anyway, as soon as you submit the certificate, you will officially be her mother. Be sure to raise her responsibly. I'll help. Occasionally.
Occasionally, huh? I was thinking about her name. How about Iris?
Iris?
The goddess of rainbows in Greek mythology? And the colored part of her eye.
And the flower, too.
Right.
I thought it might have something to do with your name, Hitomi.
Not only that. It's also for Monica's name. The kanji for Monica uses the character for love. And Monica reminds me of Manako, Japanese for eye.
So both names have something to do with the eye.
And I, which means love, will always be a part of Iris.
So that's how you came up with the name?
Don't you think it's nice?
Iris. Iris. Yeah, I really like it. I don't really want to discuss this, but there's something you need to know. After talking to the Kumakura gang, I found out who killed Monica. So's son, Saito Sejima.
How? Saito was only
12 years old.
Why? Why would a little boy do that?
I don't know the motive, but I know it's true. So used his connections with the Kumakuras to cover up for his son. And all of the evidence of this scandal, of course.
I'll never forgive them. So, his son, or the Kumakuras.
I feel the same way. But you can't think about revenge now. You and the baby can't lead a life like that. Just bear with it for now. The opportunity will come. So wait until the right moment. Okay?
And so my life with Iris began. Raising a child was much harder than I expected. Waking up in the middle of the night to change diapers or feed her, Iris wasn't a good sleeper. I had to sing her lullabies to put her to sleep. And I always needed to put her to bed so carefully. It would only take 10 seconds before she'd start crying again. So I had to pick her up, sing her another lullaby, then put her back to bed. After doing this over and over, before I knew it, the morning sun would creep in through the windows. But even with all that, I cherished every single day. My hatred for those responsible never went away. But my hands were full, raising Iris. I devoted myself to her. I never thought about anything else. Eventually, my desire for revenge just faded away.
Mama! Mama! Woof! Woof! Mama! Omelette! Omelette! Sleepy! Up? Mommy, I won race today! Is Mommy proud of me? Mommy, I want to see Milky Moon again! Mommy, you are so good at dancing! Mommy, pancakes are done! I burned it a little. Mommy, why can't I dance at the stores? I can't help it! My body dances on its own! Mommy, don't more people come to barbecues? How come it's always you and me? Hey, Mommy. How long will it take my bone to get better? I want to dance again with everybody. Hey, Mommy! Do you like my shirt? Look, we're matching! Mommy, thank you for everything! I love you more than anything in the whole wide world! Mommy, look! I drew it!
The Okonomiyaki War, huh?
That was so fun! We should do it again!
The food or the food fight?
Both!
I'm gonna have to say no to the latter, sweetie. It took forever to clean.
But Uncle said he wants to do it again, too! Hey, Mommy.
Yes?
Are you gonna marry him?
What are you talking about?
As long as it's Uncle, I'm all for it! I say go for it!
I would always question myself. Could I keep living a lie? I had promised Monica that I would avenge her. But I couldn't work up the courage. And maybe Renju was exaggerating. But there's no statute of limitations for murder in Japan. If we showed Monika's body to the police, So would be punished by the law. And the Tsujima's and Kumakura's crimes would be uncovered. But that would mean Iris's secret would be uncovered as well. That's what I was really worried about. I didn't want Iris to know that So was her father. And even more than that, I didn't want her to know that I'm not her real mother. That's the real reason I've been silent for 18 years. I didn't want to lose Iris. But fate can be cruel. God used other means to take Iris from me. In January, Iris suddenly collapsed. It was caused by a malignant tumor in her brain. There's nothing we can do. She only has a year to live at most. That's what the doctor said. If you remember me telling you. But what I didn't tell you is that there was an experimental new treatment. It was
some of the cutting-edge nanomachines can even go inside your body and cure illnesses. They can even cure cancer. And they go beep, beep, beep. That's what Mom said.
nanomachines. Nanomachines could remove the tumor, but the procedure would be so expensive. With my salary, it wasn't something I could afford. I thought hard about it, about how I could get my hands on that kind of money, but I couldn't think of a solution. Time passed. Before I knew it, it was November. Iris's symptoms worsened. Her time was running out. I was starting to panic. I couldn't sit here and waste time while Iris... In any case, I had to get the money before it was too late. So I thought of a plan. A plan to blackmail So Tsujima. Two days ago, on Saturday night, I called So and invited him to come to the warehouse. He agreed to come. After I hinted at what happened 18 years ago, I had prepared everything, hiding behind the forklift until So came. When he finally arrived, He walked over to the workbench, where I had laid Monica's body. He lifted the cloth and looked down. He whimpered and stumbled back. Even he was fazed, seeing a body he thought he got rid of 18 years ago. Not to mention it was the body of a woman he was in a relationship with. A woman his own son killed. He reacted exactly as I expected he would. I had prepared a recording and sent it to his phone.
I know what happened 18 years ago. Everything. I know who did it, and I know she had a baby inside her. You can probably guess what I'm going to say next. Be prepared to pay for my silence. I will tell you the exact amount later. And don't tell anyone about this. Not Saito, not the Kumakuras. If you do anything even remotely suspect, I will go to the press with the truth. Understand?
I told him to keep quiet and cut ties with the Kumakuras. Even if he found out who I was, without the Kumakura gang, he had no power over me. And there's no way he'd risk his political career, not to go after me. I saw So put his phone back into his pocket and run out of the warehouse. I came out of my hiding place to put Monica's body back. But then, something unexpected happened. I saw you, Date. I hid behind the forklift before you saw me. And when you were done looking around...
It can't be. Iris.
Iris is not Hitomi's daughter. But Iris's father is Sosajima. Her mother, Monica Iwai, was killed 18 years ago by So's son, Saito. However, Hitomi raised Iris since she was a baby. Hitomi showed unwavering love and compassion for her, just as much as her biological mother would have, if not more. Iris's tumor was discovered in January of this year. The only possible treatment was experimental nanotechnology. However, that treatment is restrictively expensive. Hitomi devised a plan to blackmail Sosajima for the money. The best way to establish the blackmail was to show him proof directly. That is why Hitomi created the scene with the corpse. She was the one who called So to the warehouse. On Sunday night, what Date saw was what Hitomi had prepared for So. That is the summary of what we have learned so far. But there are some things I have yet to understand. Date, pull yourself together. Ask her questions. Date, snap out of it!
No, I did not. All of this was my idea. I'm sorry. I have no idea.
I probably don't have to ask, but let me just be sure. After I left the warehouse, what did you do?
I put Monica's body back onto the hood of the forklift. Then, I left.
Makes sense.
That's why the police didn't see the body when they arrived on the scene. It makes perfect sense now that I have the facts. Iris did not resurrect. You simply mistook Monica for Iris. The body did not disappear. Hitomi moved it. Those were the events at the warehouse Sunday night. Simple. There are still a few loose ends, but I believe I understand what occurred 18 years ago. However, none of this ties directly back to Shoko Nadami. Her murder was just 4 days ago. Is it connected? Or are these two separate cases?
If there is a connection, it would be with Renju and So. We can think about it later. More importantly...
Wait. Where are you going?
To look for Iris, of course.
But you have no idea where she is, right?
Do you know something?
Yes. At around 4 o'clock today, I received a phone call. I don't know who it was. They were using a voice modulator.
What did they say?
I have your daughter. Don't call the police or she dies. That's why I didn't tell you earlier.
Renju.
We don't know that for certain. It could be number 89.
Either way, Iris is in danger right now.
The voice asked for something else. He told me to go to a specified location with you.
With me?
Yes.
The culprit knows me? It must be Renju. What location?
I'm sorry, but this stops now.
Date, run!
Boss!
Please, do not worry. I merely put her to sleep.
What are you doing?
My orders. They told us to halt our investigation. The boss was already going against orders as it is, which is why...
Investigation? What investigation? Shoko or Iris?
Neither. The investigation of Monica's murder.
Monica? But her case is all but completely solved.
Yes? But only to us, right? If we say nothing, then her investigation is ongoing.
So Sejima. So threatened us, didn't he?
I don't know. But you've been stripped of your authority on this investigation. As of 5 minutes ago. In fact, you are to be placed under house arrest. What will you do, Date? I suggest you comply.
Aiba, can you turn the power off?
Easily.
Alright, get ready. 3, 2, 1. Now tell me, where is the location?
I can't tell you.
Why not?
If I told you, you'd go alone, wouldn't you? But if I don't go with you...
Alright, take me there. I know this place.
It's the chemical plant that closed 8 years ago.
Date, I'm sorry, but this is going to be bad.
What happened?
Someone has begun to access my stored memory. They are attempting to wipe all the data. Everything I have accumulated over the last 5 years. Including backups.
Pewter. Is Pewter doing this?
Almost definitely. He does have admin rights. I summoned some ice, but that will only buy time. I have 4 hours at the most. After my ice is broken, Peter will be able to access Watch It, my core programming. He'll be able to destroy my mind.
Why?
It must be related to the orders they are receiving from the top. The higher-ups clearly see you as a threat, Doctor. They are attempting to limit your power by removing me from the equation. I suppose their motivation hardly matters now. The most important thing now is finding Iris and bringing her to Abyss within 4 hours. Or else, I will cease to exist.
Date? What's wrong?
Nothing. Just...
All right. Now you know. So get moving. I'm counting on you, Date.
I'll go in first. You wait here.
Okay.
Is that... Renju?
That is...
Sosajima. Why? Why? Boss? What's going on here? Why did Boss kill So? Shoko was killed around 5 p.m. Friday. What was Boss doing at that time?
Unknown.
What about Saturday, 8 p.m.?
The time Renju was killed? Similarly unknown.
Iris and Ota were killed at different times. I was watching the stream on the call with Boss.
Only the first few minutes. The polar bear had not yet appeared on stream. It is possible that she made the call from somewhere off camera.
Where was Boss's phone at the time? Check her cell records.
She did not call from a mobile phone. She used a PC. Using a VPN service, she could have accessed her Abyss PC from the warehouse and made the call.
Boss is the new Cyclops killer? Shoko, Renju, Iris, Ota, So. Boss killed them all?
The evidence makes that a likely possibility. So also had his left eye removed. Identical to Shoko, Renju, and Iris. Date, I know where the boss is. I have picked up her GPS.
Where?
She is now at the Sagan residence. Somewhere inside Hitomi's house.
What? Hitomi! Hitomi! Ima, call Boss's phone.
On it. boss's phone.
Oh, shit.
Kaname Date, you were under arrest for murder.
What the hell?
Drop your weapon! Comply!
Boss?
I could ask you the same thing. You killed Shoko Nadami, didn't you?
That's ridiculous. What are you talking about?
Don't lie. I don't know. She was gone when I got here.
Why did you come here?
Why would I tell you? Are you kidding me?
You're the new Cyclops killer.
What? Why do you think that?
You put a gun to So's head and pulled the trigger. I saw it with my own eye.
Shut up! Shut up! Stop lying!
This is going nowhere.
Are you going to fight?
I have no choice.
I recommend against it. You have 0 chance of winning a firefight.
Well then, what can I do?
Let me think. Date, what is that on the kitchen table? Could it be your favorite thing?
What?
The magazine.
You want me to look at a magazine now?
Just look!
It can't be. This is the stuff of legends. Only the most diehard fans have ever laid eyes on it.
Whoa! Limited edition!
Date, load Evolver with firebomb bullets. Shoot at the cloud.
Why?
Just do as I say, and fast. She is probably just unconscious. Her right shoulder and left leg suffered damage, but she will live.
A dust explosion, huh? Good thinking.
Thank you.
But you could have just had me throw the bag of flour.
That would have been too slow. To improve your reaction time, I had to improvise.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, let's have a look. Hey, this is just a cooking magazine.
Boss is still unconscious. However, her brainwaves are stable. Syncing with her shouldn't be an issue.
Date, talking to her would be pointless. You do know that, don't you?
Because I know that the boss is my enemy. I got the video from Aiba. I processed it and found that it showed no sign of tampering or editing. Which means there can be no mistake. The boss shot and killed So Sejima after pulling out his left eye. That makes the odds of her being the culprit behind the other murders very high. Or maybe she had accomplices. Either way, she's a criminal. That's why I am cooperating with you, Special Agent Date. I want it as bad as you do. The truth. She has broken her right shoulder, as well as the fibula of her left leg. But her brain is perfectly healthy. You can sync with her. I had him put back behind bars.
In Fuchu prison.
That's right. I couldn't keep him here.
Computer, are the preparations done?
Ready anytime.
Let's get started.
Date.
I know. 6-minute time limit. I'll be back before time's up.
Well then, let's begin.
Time to loosen up.
Do you always have to come in like that?
It is of the utmost importance.
At a time like this?
Times like this are perfect. Anyway, it appears to be an abandoned factory of some kind.
What could Boss be hiding here?
Somnium scan, activate! A rusted metal door.
break the lock with that.
Roger. I will try. It worked!
All right, open it.
Several keys have fallen.
One of them must be the right one.
I do not have time to try all of them.
Hopefully there's some kind of sign.
Indeed.
Agent Date, you've got 5 minutes.
It's a key. The ice pick is next to this key. It appears to be correct.
That's what I said.
The tag is labeled A.
I was right. Give me some credit.
That must mean you can use this key for something labeled A.
Come on.
Agent Date, you've got 4 minutes.
A door that looks like the Anywhere door. Perhaps we can use the key I just picked up.
Yeah, try that.
It opened! Odd. Isn't this the 3rd floor? What is going on here?
Looks like the floors are connected in a weird way.
Quite the troublesome dream. A door with B written on it. It does not appear to be locked. This is the 2nd floor, but it is clearly not the door I just opened.
It's like a maze. I have to remember what door goes where.
Door C. It doesn't appear to be locked. Oh, we're on the 2nd floor again.
We leave the 2nd floor and come right back to it? This is confusing.
Door E. An oil drum hung with wire.
Guess you should check that door.
You You have 3 minutes, Dante.
A rusted metal door. It does not appear to be locked. This again.
So we can't just grab one. We have to be careful.
It's a key with a watch beside it. The hands indicate 8 o'clock. Door E. It's a key with a watch beside it. The hands in... Is this the correct answer?
Saturday night at 8 matches Renju's estimated time of death.
D is written on the tag. Let's go, Date. The D door. I will... This door, too. A broken pipe. Yeah! Oh, it's just as I calculated.
You were surprised, admit it.
A rusted metal door. I think I can open this door. Has control panel written on the tag.
Control panel? The one right there?
Rows of monitors and buttons. This appears to be old. I believe this computer controls the factory's electronics. It appears to require a key to activate. Rows of
You have less than 2 minutes. Hurry.
There! Oh!
So?
I see. If we move the scaffold, a new route appears.
Okay, let's move it.
Rows of monitors.
Shrunk.
Well...
Oh.
I see.
It extended.
Now we can use the route to door B. Door... Door C prime.
Less than 1 minute. Hurry!
Door B prime. Door F. This is the first time we've seen it. The first floor. This is the first time we've been here.
That big door. If we can see what's in there, we'll figure something out.
An iron ladder. Ready? This somnium is awfully dangerous.
Hey, that door. Maybe we can open that one now. Check it.
A rusted... I'm going to open it.
Iba, return to the control room on the 3rd floor.
At once!
What the hell is going on?
Tate, what are you doing? 6 minutes are up!
Wait! Hitomi is...
Tate, you can't go any longer! Force shutdown!
No! I took a look around your head, and I discovered something. Something about the new Cyclops serial killings. Apart from Ota, there are 4 victims. Shoko Nadami, Renju Okiura, Iris Sagan, and So Sejima. Who was responsible for these murders? Shoko was stabbed by Renju with an ice pick. Renju was strangled to death by Iris. So cut open Iris's body. But who shot So? It was you. In other words, all of these murders were committed by different people. There wasn't just one killer. That's how it looks on the surface, anyway. But that's not the truth, is it? There's only one culprit. One person. And that person is... Yes, you. The person in front of me right now.
You're blaming the commander of Abyss for this?
No, not Boss. The person inside Boss's head.
Can you at least try to make sense?
Alright, I'll explain. You know about the abandoned chemical plant in Kawasaki? There's a prototype sync machine there. You use that device to swap around bodies one by one.
In other words, the entire egg ends up being replaced. Mind, consciousness, memory, they are traded. Switched.
I don't know where it started, but at some point, you got into Shoko's brain. Then, you got into Renju's. And got rid of Shoko's body. After Renju was Iris. You strangled Renju using Iris. After that, into So. Who you used to kill Iris and Ota at the cold storage warehouse. Now, you're in Boss's body, inside her head.
I see. If you know that much, then I have nothing left to hide. Yes, I am the culprit behind the new Cyclops serial killings. I guess you can call me the new Cyclops killer. Saito Sejima. Congressman Sejima's son.
What?
I researched Saito thoroughly, but I cannot find any images of him on the internet. He is listed on the family register, but I cannot find any photographs.
Before I do, there's something I want to hear from you. How did you know about the prototype sync machine? And not only that, you also seem to know what the sync machine is truly capable of. Why is that?
That's...
Regaining your memories, are you? Human memory is fractal. If you retain even a single piece of it, it's possible to recreate the whole thing. Pieces of memories are like roots that grow into every corner of the brain, gradually, slowly, taking its time. I imagine the same thing is happening in your brain right now.
A fractal is a figure with self-similarity. Allow me to explain. See this? Whichever fragment you cut, you will see a similar shape. The whole is made up of its similar parts. This is called a fractal figure. Memories in the brain are similar. That is what he is explaining. He is claiming that from a few pieces, you can rebuild the memory.
Parallel worlds exist.
That was me.
You imitate her well. From the way you talked and your body language, it was like the real Iris. Earlier, too. Almost had me fooled. Your imitation of Boss was... perfect.
Yes, there's a reason for that. Let me define some terms first. A person's memory and sense of self. Let's call that personality. It isn't quite the right word, but it'll suffice. Now, transferring that personality into someone else's brain, let's call that parasitism. The one transferring is the parasite, the one being transferred into is the host. Are you with me so far? Moving on. Even after the personality exchange is complete, the host's memory isn't completely lost. About 1% remains in the brain. So, a parasite could use that 1% to imitate the language and behavior of the host. That's how I knew about the warehouse and Sunfish Pocket, by the way. Thanks to Renju and Iris's remaining memories. I'm telling you, it was me. Why are you making me repeat myself?
That means the somnium I entered on Sunday.
That's right. It was me.
What's going on here?
Fine. I still have time.
Time?
You'll see. So, where do you want me to start? Like you guessed, my personality was in Shoko, Renju's ex-wife. That made calling Renju easy. I need to talk to you about something. He came over without question. I think it was around 4 p.m. I had him meet me at the chemical plant. I made Renju go to sleep. Synced, switched personalities, and then stabbed Shoko's discarded body with an ice pick. I took Shoko to Bloom Park by car, using the old abandoned subway line. Must have been around 8 p.m. by the time I was finished. I tied up Shoko to one of the merry-go-round horses. After that, I used Renju's phone to send a Nile message to Mizuki. Then, I just waited for Mizuki to arrive. Until next Saturday evening, my personality was inside Renju. My next target was Iris. I knew she would be suspicious if I asked her to come to Kawasaki, so I asked her to come to Sunfish Pocket first. I called her a little before 5 p.m., and she arrived just after 6. I greeted her, then convinced her to come with me. That's when Ota saw us. Anyway, I put her in the car, then headed to the chemical plant. On the way, I made her take a sleeping pill. I knew she might run once she saw where we were going. It was around 7 p.m. when I got there, and I wasted no time switching bodies. After getting Iris's body, I used a rolled-up apron to strangle Renju to death. Then I put his body in an empty oil drum I'd prepared earlier. I put that in the trunk of the car, then headed to Sunfish Pocket. But then, something I didn't anticipate happened. Waiting for the signal in Akiba, someone knocked on the window of the car. It was Ota. He asked me something about being able to drive. He was surprised, to say the least. I didn't have time to waste on him. But I couldn't risk him finding the oil drum in the trunk. Plus, if word got around that Renji's car was spotted driving around Akiba, that would foil my plans. So, I came up with a lie. I told him that I didn't have a license, so he had to keep it a secret. That's what that thing referred to in Ota's Nile messages, by the way. And just like that, I managed to escape a bad situation and headed to Sunfish Pocket as planned. The rest went exactly as you already figured out. Sunday morning, I had a recording or some such thing scheduled. Oh, I am of course referring to Iris. I didn't want to draw suspicion, so I decided to attend as planned. I went to Lemniscate and performed my job. And when I left, I ran into you, Date. To be honest, I was a little surprised. Just the previous night, I was a parasite in the body of Renju. I didn't think Ota had seen me. So, of course, I didn't expect to see you there so soon. You were onto me, but there was nothing I could do about that. If I ran, it would only increase your suspicion. So I decided to play my role. The interrogation began around 8:20 p.m., is that right? Then you synced into my mind. But you didn't get what you were looking for, did you? As a result, you had no choice but to release me. I didn't want to go home right away. I knew there might be police waiting for me. That would make it difficult to sneak out at night. And that would put my plan in jeopardy. So I asked you to take me to Marble. I tried to find an opportunity to run, but then another unexpected event occurred. I got a Nile message from Ota. I knew I could use him. So I told him I needed his help and to meet me at Marble. He did as I instructed him to do. After that, I got into the van with Ota. But because his presence was unnecessary, I asked him to stop at a convenience store to buy me something to drink. When he was gone, I took his car and drove to my parents' house where I used to live. Yes, the Sajima residence. Of course, I knew I couldn't just walk up and ring the doorbell. Hello, Father, it's been a long time. I was also in Iris's body at the time. But I thought I could use that to my advantage. So I pushed on the intercom, and sure enough, my dad invited me inside. I told him this. I want you to come with me. There's something I need to show you. He was quiet for a while, but eventually agreed, and got into the van with me. We arrived at the prototype sync machine around 11:50 p.m. By the time I was in the body of Sosajima, it was a new day. This was yesterday, early Monday morning, past midnight. In my new body, I drugged Iris, put her in the van, and drove to a new location, Okiura Fishery Cold Storage Warehouse. I arrived around 1, then prepared for the show for a couple hours. Of course, when I say show, I mean dismembering Iris. Because of the temperature in the warehouse, it took longer than I expected to prepare, but... well, you saw it in the video. Of course, I didn't anticipate Ota would show up. What does that make it? 3 times that brat has showed up unexpectedly? That annoyed me to no end, and I took that out on him. Dressing him up in the polar bear was an impromptu plan on my part. I didn't mean to make you think he was the killer. I just wanted to throw a wrench into the investigation. Didn't matter if you found out or not. This all happened Monday morning. I left the warehouse around 3:30 a.m. There isn't much to talk about on Monday. Before noon, I used my old man's body to call this one Boss. You might not know this, but she and my father go back about 6 years. The two shared a terrible secret. Hinting at that was enough to get the boss to come running to me immediately. I injected her with a sedative, then brought her body to the chemical plant. I synced with her, exchanged our bodies. And after blowing my father's brains out, I cut his body into pieces. I stuffed the meat into a vase I'd brought earlier, then drove back to my house. You know all about the prototype sync machine, don't you? That should explain it. Of course, I don't really care about eyes. I don't need them. All I cared about was exchanging bodies with the sink. And for that, I needed to remove the left eye.
Why didn't you just put the eyes back when you were done?
That's obvious. Once I was finished transferring into a new body, the old one was of no concern to me. Why would I bother replacing the eye? I was just going to get rid of it anyway. Shoko's is in Renju. Renju's is in Iris. Iris's is in Dad. Dad's is in Boss. Their stomachs, I mean.
You sick bastard.
Yes, I ate them. Immediately after exchanging personalities.
How horrible.
Homicide is my hobby. I have a tenacity for it, what can I say? Of course, it was also necessary to make sure people kept their mouths shut. If I took over someone's body, they would know about my crimes. I couldn't risk them reporting me, so I killed them. It was also a matter of revenge. Against you. It's personal. That's why I chose people close to you as targets. Well, except for my father, of course. That was personal to me. But don't ask. It's embarrassing. This series of murders was like a journey for me, you know? Traveling through bodies to finally reach the end. That's the thing about traveling. You always wind up in the same place, don't you? Where do you think that is? Your home. A trip is only complete once you return home. The same goes for me. When I return home, my travels will come to an end. So I'll be needing it back. My body.
What?
You stole my body. You took it from me 6 years ago. That's why I want revenge.
What are you talking about?
You have no idea what it was like inside my own head. I miss it. I miss my brain, Date. No matter how many people I killed, it never worked. I never felt happy. I feel miserable.
You mean?
He was born with a brain dysfunction. Due to damage to the posterior pituitary gland, he was unable to properly secrete oxytocin.
Oh, that's right. My old body. How are you finding it, Date? That's what I've been telling you!
But I don't have the same oxytocin deficiency you did.
That is because I regularly supplement it. They must have increased your dosage too much.
No, but the person who had this disorder was number 89, the original Cyclops killer.
That is what I believed as well. But we must have misunderstood. Pewter did not specify who exactly was imprisoned. Only that one of the original culprits responsible was currently in prison.
That's strange. That would mean number 89 is the previous chairman, Rohan.
That must be it. Rohan is a parasite inside number 89's brain. Pewter must have known that.
No way.
Let us determine the specifics using Saito as our starting point. Whose brain was he in before Boss?
So Sejima.
And before So?
Iris. And before that, Renju. And before that, Shoko.
And before Shoko?
I was a parasite inside Rohan's brain 6 years ago until last year. I'd lost most of my memories. I was a shell of a man. They housed me in a special hospital. But I still had those fragments of my mind left. Just as I explained earlier. From a single piece, you can recreate the whole. I took my time, slowly regaining my memories. 1 year ago, I remembered everything. I left the hospital and immediately sought out Shoko Nadami. I got her body, and she was in Rohan's. When she saw herself in the mirror, she lost her mind. She was confused, panicking, running up the emergency staircase, and then...
That's why Rohan committed suicide.
After that, I spent a year perfecting my plan, using Shoko's body. I spied on you all this time. That's why I know everything about you. In there, in that body you are operating right now, in that skull, my personality lived there.
Wait, hold on. If what you're saying is true, what about my personality?
It was in Rohan.
I'm not Rohan!
Correct. It is just as he explained earlier. Number 89 was in Rohan's body. In other words...
That's... my real...
Sorry, but time's up. I want my body back. It's quite simple. Sync with me and stay inside my mind for more than 6 minutes.
And if I refuse?
I know that you won't. I know it.
Huh?
Date, look! This is streaming live!
Damn you!
If you give me back my body, I will give you the location. Oh, and of course, it isn't the chemical plant in the Kawasaki district.
Iva, where's the source?
It is being routed through numerous IPs. I cannot identify the source.
Computer, contact headquarters, now!
Got it!
Now, what will you do? Will you agree to my request?
Date!
See? I knew you wouldn't refuse. I know you well, don't I, Date?
I did it. I did it. I'm back. I got it all back.
Hey, where's Hitomi?
All right, I'll tell you as promised. Boss's house. However, it might be too late by now.
What? Why?
Return my body and I'll tell you the location. That's what I said. I didn't lie. I kept my promise.
You bastard!
You're the one who injured that body. It's your own fault, really.
Damn it.
Be seeing you.
Date, are you all right?
Everyone's dead. I couldn't do anything. Saito had me right where he wanted me. Nothing. Nothing.
Parallel worlds exist.
Could I have had